Well, hi, and welcome to my April reading wrap up. This month was, this month was rough. It was a rough reading month. It was a slog. So I have only 4 books to talk about today. I DNF'd 2 books that I wanted so badly to finish, and then I finished the month of April strong with 2 books that I really loved. First book I want to talk about is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. So it was actually the title that first intrigued me. That's an amazing title for a book. And so that attracted me initially. And, it started off and I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of not interested in any of these characters, but I'm going to keep going. The book's main character is a young woman named Jade, and she is a huge horror fan. There are a lot of horror movie references in this book. I actually think there are too many. I never thought I would say that because I myself am a massive horror fan, but it actually got kind of tiring. I really wanted to love this character, and I just didn't. I didn't dislike her. I just didn't really care. I didn't really care about any of the other characters. I didn't think there was nobody written in a way that was really vibrant or that really pulled me in. The beginning was good. It starts off with something really scary that happens, and then for the longest time, nothing really happens. The story just didn't go anywhere. And I was really bored. It was really a struggle to get from page to page without wanting to just put it down. So after I put the book down for what I thought would be the final time, I started looking into reviews of this book, and they were pretty mixed. Some people said that the beginning of the book was slow. It was a slow burn, and then the ending was the big payoff. A lot of people loved it from start to finish, and then there were other people who really didn't like it at all. So then I'm thinking maybe I should pick it up again. Maybe I should just force myself to get through it so that I can get to that ending, which is supposed to be really good. I just couldn't do it. Next book I DNF'd was Little Heaven by Nick Cutter. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I tried to get through this book. I wanted to finish this book so much. I felt like I've devoted so much time to this freaking book. Again, the story starts out really good, and it did pull me in, and as the book went on, it just couldn't keep my interest. I've mentioned before that I did read The Troop by the same author, and I did love that book. That book went fairly quickly for me. I would say Little Heaven is just as gruesome, it's just as gory. It does have some genuinely scary moments. The characters for the most part were great. The book involves a cult, and the cult leader in the book I thought was written just really badly. Very cliche, we've seen it, we've read it 1,000 times before. There's a cult leader and he's sexually repressed, and that contributes to all of his rage. I just feel like the author could have done so much more with that character. So I put the book down. I think that's going to be it. I have put this book down and picked it back up 3 times now, and I can't do it. I can't finish it. So all in all, I felt the book was very redundant. It was repeating itself a lot, and I felt like even though I was moving forward in the book, I wasn't actually making any headway, and the story wasn't really going anywhere. I think that this book in particular really could have benefited from some tighter editing. Now to talk about the books that I did finish. First off, we have Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. So this book takes place in the South. It's about 2 gay men who are married, and they're murdered. And the police don't really have any leads, and they're not really doing much to investigate who committed these murders. And so the men's fathers decide that they are going to set out and try to find out what happened to their sons. I loved this book from beginning to end. I read this book in, I think, just 3 days. It was a really quick read. I think he's a really great author. After I finished the book, I did go online and look up some reviews of this book, and there were a lot of people saying that you have to suspend quite a bit of belief in order to really enjoy this book, and I do agree with that. There were definitely some scenes where it was like, okay, but you know, it's like watching a really enjoyable like action movie. Not everything really has to make sense, right? I mean, if you're enjoying it, if the characters are compelling and the story is compelling, not everything has to make perfect sense, right? I don't know. That's just how I feel. But anyway, so yeah, I highly recommend Razorblade Tears. I thought it was a great book, and I definitely want to read more from this author. And finally, we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So I don't even know how to describe this book. I don't even know how to describe the plot. I would say, I mean, you know, obviously I don't want to give anything away. So I'll just say it's like Quantum Leap adjacent, kind of, sort of. I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of sci-fi shows. That's not really my genre. I've never really been into that. But the thing about this book is, although I would classify it as a sci-fi book, it's an accessible one. The story pulled me in right away. I read this book in one day. I started it at like, I don't know, like I think 2 in the afternoon, and I finished it by 11 o'clock at night. That's how quickly I got through this book. I read some reviews with people like complaining that it was not a true sci-fi book. I don't even know what that means because, again, I'm not really into sci-fi as genre. But I liked that this book was accessible and it was easy to digest and it was easy to understand for a dummy like me who doesn't really know anything about physics or engineering. And this is why I also loved Project Hail Mary. This was my favorite book of 2021 because it was easy to get through. It was easy to understand. You could be drawn into the story without feeling confused or like you're missing something. So if you have not, I definitely recommend Dark Matter, even if you are not into the genre of sci-fi. That is it. Those are my books for April. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care of yourselves.